I think that in 2020, Canadians were not concerned about the barbaric snitch line. What they were concerned about is the snitch line on your neighbor if they had a friend over, or a snitch line about a church if they wanted to congregate. That is un-Canadian. I come from the former Soviet Union. I know what democracy is all about, and I know how precious our democracy is. And the fact that the conservative movement failed to stand up for democracy is something that is going to remain with us for a generation.
It's among the loudest voices
that
in
you were not one of the loudest voices, Mr. Poilievre. You were not one of the loudest voices. In fact, you did not speak up until it was convenient
Actually, that
for
is
you
not
to
true,
speak up.
Madam Lewis.
You did not even go to the trucker protest. You actually went and you took a picture in your neighborhood at a local stop.
Let's hear from
you
Mr.
did not
Poilievre,
speak up for the truckers,
Let's
and you
hear from
did
Mr.
not speak
Poilievre.
up the
Thank
loudest,
you.
Mr. Poilievre.
Now, Mr. Charest learned about the trucker convoy on CBC, like other Liberals, and he misrepresented them. He believes that I should be censored. He believes I should be cancelled from this leadership race and disqualified, in his words, because I don't share his Liberal viewpoint. That is the kind of cancel culture and censorship you would expect from Justin Trudeau, but instead we're getting it from this Liberal on this stage.
You know, this whole situation with the vaccine mandates, the truckers' convoy, it never should have happened in the first place. Leadership would have engaged people. It should never have happened in the first place. And the fact of the matter is this. Justin Trudeau used vaccines and vaccine status to divide Canadians in a corrosive, disgusting political display to win votes. And what we cannot do as a party is continue with the divisive, polarizing rhetoric that Justin Trudeau has been using for 7 years. It's disgusting. It's ripping our country apart. It's why I'm running.
Mr. Charest, how much money did you get from Huawei when you were working for them, either directly or indirectly? Just the number, please. How much? Just the number.
I agree with Scott. This mess that we witnessed is the fault of Mr. Trudeau. But Mr. Poilievre, during that period, supported an illegal blockade. You cannot make laws and break laws and then say I will make laws for other people. I'm sorry, but that is a question of basic foundation and principles in my life.
What do you say to the large number of Conservatives and Canadians who simply don't want to have a debate about abortion?
I think it's very important that in a free and democratic society, we are free to debate any issue. And I tell people I am pro-life. Many of my friends are pro-choice. And we have healthy discussions about the future. And there is so much that we agree on. And we need to come together as a society to determine that we can work out things, even controversial things like abortion. I still don't know where these gentlemen stand on this issue. I don't know whether they're pro-life or pro-choice. And the media will hound them. For example, Mr. Pierre Poilievre has ran from the media the last few days because he doesn't want to declare whether he's pro-life or pro-choice.
So I'm wondering if you can set the record straight. Are you a Conservative?
Thank you very much. And Roman, thank you for your comments. And Leslyn, I have a deep respect for the position that you hold on the issue of abortion. And I want to say a word about social conservatives tonight, because we may not agree on all issues, but who are the people who call themselves social conservatives? And I'm not a hyphenated conservative. But who are they if not people who have a faith-based life, believe in their families and their communities? Sounds like pretty good people to me. And they are part of our family, and they will always be part of our family, and they need to be respected.
CBC News is no longer news. It's a communications arm for Justin Trudeau. How can media objectively cover the government when the government signs their paycheck? It's utterly impossible. You know, I was born in the Soviet Union. There was a newspaper called Pravda, and Pravda means truth. And I see no difference between what we're seeing in state-run funding. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to defund the CBC. I'm going to end all subsidies and bailouts, but I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to end the advertising relationship that government has with media.